MK-Ultra was a top-secret program launched by the Central Intelligence Agency in the early 1950s. The program was designed to develop techniques for mind control and interrogation, and it would become one of the most controversial and unethical experiments in American history.
My father was a 49-year-old Montreal businessman who was successful and dynamic and whose life was destroyed by a series of treatments.
MK-Ultra was an umbrella project that consisted of a series of sub-projects, each focused on a specific area of research. The program was incredibly ambitious and was funded by millions of dollars in taxpayer money. The goal was to develop techniques for mind control and interrogation that could be used against enemies of the United States. In the early 1950s, the CIA was looking for ways to develop techniques that could counteract Soviet and Chinese brainwashing techniques used on American prisoners of war during the Korean War.
Isolate the individual even as he becomes submerged in the mass. Erode our political and economic and social system as effectively as any shooting war. And they can do so even if no communist or other tyrant exists anywhere in the world. The hard test of durability of our traditions and beliefs, so cruelly condensed in Korea POW camps for an unfortunate few, continues today.
The fear of Soviet mind control programs had been heightened by these reports, and the CIA believed that they needed to develop their own mind control techniques in order to protect the interest of the United States. To achieve their goal, the CIA enlisted the help of psychologists, psychiatrists, and other scientists. They conducted experiments on both animals and human subjects in order to develop new techniques for mind control. One of the first experiments conducted under the MK-Ultra program involved the use of LSD. The CIA believed that the drug could be used to break down an individual's resistance and make them more susceptible to suggestion. The CIA began testing LSD on human subjects in the early 1950s. Many of these subjects were unwitting participants who were given the drug without their knowledge or consent.
He went in one winter evening and was put to sleep for approximately 2 months. He was given shock treatments of various kinds, gradually building intensity to an intensity and a frequency that was not certainly the routine or standard of the time.
The effects of LSD on the human mind can be unpredictable and often led to hallucinations, delusions, and other psychiatric symptoms. Many of the subjects who were given LSD experienced severe psychological trauma, and some even committed suicide. One of the most famous victims of the MK-Ultra program was Frank Olson, a biochemist who worked for the US Army's biological warfare program. In 1953, Olson was given LSD without his knowledge during a retreat with other scientists. He experienced a severe psychotic episode. A week later, Olson died after falling from a hotel room window in New York City. At the time, the CIA told Olson's family that he had committed suicide. However, in 1975, the Rockefeller Commission, which was tasked with investigating government intelligence activities, uncovered evidence that Olson had been murdered. His family was later awarded a settlement of $750,000, and the government issued an apology for its role in his death.
I'm Christy Nicola, born July of 1962, rendering me 32 years of age. Donald Richard Ebner, my natural father, was involved with Dr. Green in the experiments. I was a subject from 1966 to 1976. Dr. Green performed radiation experiments on me in 1970, focusing on my neck, throat, and chest, 1972 focusing on my chest and my uterus in 1975. Each time I became dizzy, nauseous, and threw up. All these experiments were performed on me in conjunction with mind control techniques and drugs in Tucson, Arizona. Dr. Green was using me mostly as a mind control subject from 1966 to 1973. His objective was to gain control of my mind and train me to be a spy assassin. The first significant memory took place at Kansas City University in 1966. Don Ebner took me there by plane when my mom was out of town. I was in what looked like a laboratory, and there seemed to be other children. I was strapped down, naked, spread eagle, on a table, on my back.
In 1973, the CIA director at the time, Richard Helms, ordered that all of the documents related to MK Ultra be destroyed. However, some records were later discovered, and they shed light on the extent of the program's activities. As of March 2023, the US government is seeking immunity in a proposed class action lawsuits over brainwashing experiments at a Montreal psychiatric hospital before Quebec's highest court. Furthermore, it has been speculated that notorious cult leader Charles Manson was a participant in the top-secret CIA mind control program. In the next video of this series, we will explore this theory and the evidence supporting it.